Ancient Tang Dynasty book, Knowing About Aliens and the Moon's Secrets 800 years before Galileo. This book records many unbelievable stories, and one of the stories in it reveals mysterious secrets about aliens and the moon. During the Tang Dynasty, there was a very famous book called Miscellaneous Morsels from Youyang, the content of which seemed to be very close to modern science fiction novels. In fact, this is a novel of strange events, records of strange events, written by Duan Chengshi during the reign of Emperor Taizong of Tangli Shimen, the second emperor of the Tang Dynasty. The stories in this book are described in amazing detail and vividness, which can be said to be very advanced for humans, especially during the Tang Dynasty. Duan Chengshi's father was Duan Wenchang, a highly respected prime minister during the reign of Emperor Muzong of the Tang Dynasty. Although his family had a rich political background, Duan Chengshi did not take it seriously. He cherished a dream of his own, which was to be like Sima Qian, personally traveling around the world and writing a great work comparable to the historical records and leaving his name for posterity. Therefore, Duan Wenchang agreed to his request and provided him with a large sum of money to travel throughout the Central Plains and even to the more distant frontiers. It was during this long journey that Duan Chengshi completed the creation of Youyang Zhaju. The stories recorded in this book were all folk tales that he had heard himself, so they had a certain degree of reliability. Daodyang and Daodyang Taptro refers to the place where Don Tan Tuk was writing, where he collected and compiled these stories. The word Taptro means recording folk stories. In other words, Daodyang Taptro can be understood as a book that records many different stories. In fact, this book not only records many true historical folktales but also incorporates some unbelievable and bizarre legends. These fictional stories are considered unorthodox and deviant by some. However, it is precisely the existence of these stories that makes Dao Duong Taptro so attractive. The strange story of aliens and the moon. One day, Zhang Runban and Li Xiaocai were hiking up Mount Songshan together and got lost when night fell. While they were desperately searching for their way in the darkness, a pavilion suddenly appeared in front of them, followed by a light snoring sound. Accordingly, Trin Nan Ban approached and was surprised to see a man lying quietly there. This man's clothing was particularly unusual. He wore a thick snow-white cloak, completely unlike those living in the Tung Sun mountain area. However, in order to find a way down the mountain, Trin Nan Ban bravely approached him and asked for his help. At this time, the man in white woke up and seemed a little unhappy, but still pointed the direction for Trin Nan Ban to go down the mountain. However, Lai Tu Tai's curiosity urged him to ask about the origin and strange way of dressing of the man in white. Hearing this, the man in white showed a cheerful smile on his face and began to describe his identity. He raised his finger, pointed at the bright moon in the night sky, and slowly said, "Do you know that the moon is actually made of 7 materials? Its surface is not smooth like a mirror, but has an uneven surface. The moon itself does not emit light, it only shines brightly when night falls and is illuminated by the sunlight." These words confused Zhang Runban and Li Xiaocai. Their curiosity naturally arose and they all asked him how he knew this. The man in white happily replied that he was one of the people who were looking after the moon. He and 82,000 others were working hard to repair the surface of the moon, and now he was just resting. These words left Zhang Runban and Li Xiaocai stunned and incredulous. The man in white continued to tell them about the mysteries behind the moon. He showed them the majestic beauty of the moon, describing the mountains and rivers on it and how they affected the tides on Earth. The man in white also told them that jade rice was their common food, and it was believed that it could keep them from getting sick throughout their lives. At the same time, he also offered this food to Zhang Runban and Li Xiaocai. Everyone received the jade-robed man with gratitude and awe. They regarded the man in white as a godlike being and knelt down to express their sincere gratitude. Then they hurriedly left, their hearts filled with memories and thoughts of this adventure. After walking a distance, Trin Nan Ban turned back, hoping to see the communal house and the mysterious man in white again. However, both the man in white and the communal house had disappeared. After returning, Trin Nan Ban and Lai Tu Tai remembered this story and told it to many others. This incident was later recorded in Dao Duong Taptro. The man in white in the story and the mysteries of the moon that he revealed were always considered by later generations to be purely works of imagination. At that time, the concept of aliens had not yet been formed by humans and their understanding of the moon was limited to observing the surface. However, with the advancement of science and technology and in-depth studies of the moon, people began to discover the surprising authenticity of this ancient story. The moon is actually an uneven sphere. It does not emit light naturally but relies on the reflection of sunlight to illuminate the night. This has led to a re-examination of this ancient story and new speculations about the identity of the mysterious man in white. Perhaps more than 1,000 years ago, alien encounters really did occur on Earth.